No, not really. It's just it's a bit harder than I would have liked it to have been. Yeah, I mean, look, it's a totally different game to how our first three went, and I think we let the scoreboard and probably affect us today, and it doesn't take much sometimes, and especially Parramatta, and they've actually got a lot of attacking ability, and we offered them the opportunity to get in a bit of rhythm, which they found. So it's pretty rare that you get a chance to have a good lesson when you win. So it's just important for us that we heed that lesson today.
That said, on the 60 minutes, people have been waiting to actually show something in your attack today. 60 minutes your attack. Excellent.
Thank you. Yeah. Yeah.
Is that coming or?
Well, I don't know. We're never too worried. I mean, last week's game against the Broncos, our attack was poor. But the 2 weeks before that, we played good teams with good defence in tight games. Still a new team, new combinations, trying to work ourselves out. I was happy today. The early onslaught from Parramatta was really strong, I thought. They were always a strong starting team, but we're definitely on the back foot a little bit early. And I was really happy the way we navigated through that period. And then, as you said, we did control the game for various periods. I mean, there's a fair bit to go for us, but it was nice to be able to get some points on the board. It makes life a bit easier. But in the end, maybe we thought it was a bit too easy by the end of it. Yeah, he hasn't changed much as a person. He's still the same, but he's got a little more confidence, I think, in his game. He's definitely fitter and stronger, which I think helps the style of player he is. I think that's I think his physique and his speed is an asset, which he probably hasn't used to its full potential, maybe still hasn't. So it's good to see that on show again today, where he doesn't so much worry about the number on his back, he just plays, and I think when he's doing that, that's when he'll be at his best.
He's got a few more raps this year, but there was a moment a few minutes ago where Tony Williams was hurt the game and basically knocked Tony down. Tony gets up, Limpy walks away, Limpy and Williams just hops back to the defensive line. Shows that sort of moments show to extent how far defensively he's coming.
Yeah, there's a bit of a correlation there. Last year, Tony Williams played for the Sharks, I think just before he got injured, and had a pretty good night against us at Leichhardt, and it was the same thing running at Luke, and I think Luke's definitely, if you watched the difference today as opposed to that game, he's got a lot more confidence in his. And Tony Williams is a fair handful, and especially at that point in the game, late in the game when they had a bit of running, and he set up a nice try, but I don't know if that was all Luke's fault, but he's definitely defending well. Chris and Luke together have got a good little combo on that left edge, and I think anyone who plays the game, if you can defend well, it's going to give you confidence.
Beyond your expectations, for the first month of the season?
Yeah, I wouldn't have said I expected it. I wasn't really worrying about that too much, so I'm still not. It's hard. I don't want to get too far ahead and worry about things like that. It's just about how we play, and more about trying to develop combinations, get some confidence, especially when we looked at the draw, how it was going to pan out early in the season. It was about getting combinations, playing as a team and getting some confidence, and we're lucky enough to get a few wins as well, which only helps with the other stuff.
Sorry, mate, when you looked at the draw when it came out last year, most of us probably thought, wow, it's the hardest draw. How did you work with the players and get them to ignore that and use it as the challenge to build your season around?
Yeah, we didn't really talk about it a lot, but look, the first 6 weeks of the competition, it's the most even it is. I mean, try and be a tipster at the moment, it's very hard. It's hard to put performances together for any team. So that we looked at that a bit of a positive, So and it was a really good chance if we started the year well, regardless of results, then we could get some confidence. So you either do that or you go home crying, I guess, when you look at it. So it's just how it was. So we're but again, it's hard to know who's going to be tip your top 8 right now. It's and the competition's so even that any draw is not necessarily easy or hard. Yeah.
The Melbourne, Brisbane, Parramatta are a top 14. They must, every week the confidence must grow to the point now where there's absolute belief, isn't there?
Yeah, I suppose Rowdy could answer that one. I mean, it certainly looks like we're pretty confident. I was confident about today's game, despite the way we trained, and disappointed in the way we lost last week. The boys were, which is always a good sign against, so.
Yeah, I think we're just confident to turn up for one another. I think we spoke about at the start of the season, the first 4-6 weeks, a lot of the games are won just on little effort areas, and not so much fancy attack, and just turn up for one another, completing, kicking, and just those little effort areas. And we knew if we did that and turned up for one another, and if we gave ourselves a chance to be in the game the last 10 minutes, some were going to win, some were going to lose. And the previous 3 weeks, that's the case. It's gone down the last 10 minutes, and as I've said, this is probably a different situation for us this week. We're in front, and probably didn't handle that last 20 very well. We're out in front by a lot.
You've been here for a long time now, mate. You've had some good seasons and some not so good seasons. How does this feel at the moment? The feeling within the team and the players?
Yeah, it definitely feels a lot better than the previous few years, or especially this time last year. It's just good because everyone's knows what their role is. Everyone's working hard for one another, and it gives you confidence when the guy inside and outside is there for you, doing their job and got your back if you make a mistake. Everyone's going to make mistakes in games, and everyone's just working hard for one another. Sometimes things come off, sometimes they don't, but it's really exciting, and it's a good feel around the place when you can go out there knowing that people have got your back.
Chris, are you always confident points are coming? Attack coming?
Yeah, I think so. I think the first few weeks, I think we didn't attack poorly. I think it was just a bit disjointed, obviously, with the new combinations. But I think we put so much effort into our defence in those first 2 weeks, obviously against Melbourne and the Roosters, that especially the first 2 weeks of competition just gasses you in attack. So you probably don't have that backup effort to really push hard and put the players on you want. And as Ivan said, last week was really poor. Too many drop balls, just all over the place in attack. So we knew once we got a bit more sort of match fitness and started to put the structures on we want and started to push in support and around each other, and we've got plenty of guys that can offload the ball and plenty of guys with good footwork that would create some space.
And Jacob Woodell made an impact when he came on. It must have been pleasing to see him back on the field again.
Yeah, very pleasing. Jacob's a terrific young kid and a good player, very good player, got a lot of potential. Went through 2 shoulder reconstructions, and end of last year through the pre-season, so trained really hard. He's a popular guy around the place, and as I said, got a lot of potential, so it's good to see him get out there. And even at the end of the game, it's probably good for him because he had to do a lot of defence, and that'll only help him down the track.
What kind of influence does the bench you have on the players, and what does it mean when you see him work so hard to get himself up that game and go out and play like he did in the first half?
Yeah, he's had a very positive influence on the players, on the club itself, on the fans. It's just great to see a guy who loves the club and done so much for the club as a player in the past, and be able to come back and want to come back and really add to it. So I think and it's pretty cool that so many of the boys in the team, that's like Benji's their hero from when they were kids. I think that's a nice touch for those guys. So he's certainly doing a good job, and I think there's more in him too from a playing perspective. So that's something to look forward to.
Are you going to have a tough decision maybe this possibly next week when Josh returns, or is it simple with Benji, so let's go back into that utility role for him?
Yeah, there's nothing simple about picking the team. So same every week really. So we'll just get through this week first and see how they all come out of this game. We've got 5 days and travelling to New Zealand next to play the Storm. So it's a pretty big deal. Very quickly this week. So we'll just see who's fit and who's available, and then we'll work it out from there.
Is there any guarantee on Josh? I mean, is he likely to be available next week, or you're not sure of that?
It's more unlikely than likely.
I mean, just about hasn't played on for a long time. Fans are getting excited. I know you won't talk it up, but
No, I won't.
characteristics are there though, right? From what you see, this team's a genuine football team.
Don't know. We'll find out.